Okay, so trying to land a civil service job,
Yeah.
it can feel like you're trying to decipher some ancient scroll, right?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's enough to make anyone want to just like give up and become a beach bum.
The application process can be pretty intense.
Seriously, though, thankfully we have resources like the YouTube video we're diving into today.
Hmm.
It's by How to Become Those Civil Service Gurus, and they break down this thing called success profiles,
Right.
which is like getting a sneak peek into what the civil service really wants in an ideal candidate.
It's like having a cheat sheet for the application process. They're basically saying, here's what we're looking for beyond the usual job description.
Okay, I love that. No more guessing games. So how many of these success profiles are we talking about?
So they dive into 9 of these profiles in the video.
9 profiles. All right, bring on the first one. What do we got?
First up is changing and improving. Sounds pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yeah, who doesn't want to hire someone who's adaptable?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's more nuanced than just saying, I'm a fast learner. You have to actually prove it.
Ah, so show, don't tell. Gotcha. How do they recommend doing that?
They use a great example in the video about call handling time. Imagine an employee who realizes they're lagging behind the team average.
Oh boy, I've been there.
Instead of just accepting it, this person asked for feedback, took a course to improve, and then shared what they learned with the whole team.
Okay, stop right there. I'm already impressed. They didn't just improve themselves, they helped the entire team level up.
Exactly.
Okay, that's huge. What's next?
Get ready for this one. Delivering at pace.
Delivering at pace, just hearing that makes me want a mainline coffee. Does that mean you have to be some kind of speed demon?
Not exactly.
Uh-huh.
It's more about working efficiently and effectively under pressure without sacrificing quality, of course.
Okay, grace under pressure.
Yeah.
But for work. Got it. Can you give me an example?
They talk about an administrative assistant who is suddenly hit with a mountain of urgent requests.
Oh man, I can relate to that. So what did they do?
Instead of panicking, they took charge. They prioritized the tasks, created a daily plan to stay on track, and made sure to keep everyone in the loop with regular communication.
So basically, they didn't just dive into the chaos. They actually had a plan.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. They didn't just survive the chaos, they looked for ways to streamline the process for the future, which reduced their handling time by 10%.
Wait, hold on. They reduced their handling time while dealing with a mountain of urgent requests. That's amazing. See, this is why we love these deep dives. Pure gold. What's next?
All right. Since we're clearly on a roll with these seemingly simple but deceptively nuanced profiles, let's unpack communicating and influencing.
Okay. Communicating and influencing. That seems pretty crucial for like every job, right? Being able to communicate effectively is everything.
It really is. But it's even more critical in the civil service where you often have to collaborate with people from all walks of life.
Right, like herding cats sometimes.
And you have to build consensus. It's not just about getting your point across. It's about understanding different perspectives.
Finding that common ground.
Exactly. And they illustrate this beautifully with the example of a customer service rep dealing with a furious customer whose order is massively delayed. We've all been there.
Ugh, don't even get me started on that delayed package fiasco last month. So did this rep just get defensive?
Nope, not a chance.
Yeah.
They took a deep breath and listened empathetically to the customer's frustration. They outlined a clear plan of action and kept the customer updated every step of the way.
Wow, talk about turning a negative situation into a positive one. That's some next-level customer service wizardry. So what's the key takeaway here in terms of communicating and influencing?
It's about staying calm under pressure, adapting your communication style to your audience, and focusing on solutions instead of blame. It's about building trust even when things get tough.
I love that. That's such a valuable skill in any situation. Okay, on to the next success profile. What have we got?
This one sounds pretty high level, seeing the big picture.
Ooh, seeing the big picture. That sounds like one of those things that's easy to say but hard to actually do. What does it even mean in a job context?
That's a great question. And the video breaks it down really well. It's all about understanding how your individual role, even if it seems small, connects to the larger goals of the organization.
Okay, so less about checking off tasks and more about understanding how those tasks fit into the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And to illustrate this, they give an example of a project coordinator working on a national initiative. Early on, they realized that to succeed, they couldn't just focus on their own little piece of the puzzle.
You had to zoom out a bit.
Exactly. They had to understand how their work impacted the bigger picture, commercially and financially.
You know, I'm starting to see a theme here. It's not enough to just be good at your job. You need to be able to connect your work to the bigger picture and understand its impact.
You're absolutely right. And this project coordinator went above and beyond. They didn't just identify those connections, they proactively sought ways to improve the process.
Okay, now you've got my attention. Give me the details.
Well, they noticed some communication gaps in the team, which were causing delays and misunderstandings.
Oh boy, communication breakdowns. The worst.
So they took the initiative to propose a new system that would streamline communication and keep everyone on the same page.
Much better than just complaining about it.
Right. And on top of that, they started regular feedback sessions with stakeholders to make sure everyone felt heard and to catch any potential issues early on.
Okay, now that's impressive. It's like they could predict the future and prevent problems before they even happened. Did it work?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
By streamlining processes and fostering better communication, they not only kept the project on schedule, but also ensured it aligned with the organization's overall mission and financial goals.
Okay, they basically saved the day. Seeing the big picture is clearly a recipe for success. I'm adding it to my vision board.
It's a valuable skill in any field, but especially in the civil service, where the stakes are high
Yeah.
and the impact is far-reaching,
Speaking of high stakes, this next profile sounds pretty crucial.
making effective
Oh
decisions.
boy, making effective decisions.
Yeah.
I'm already nervous. Does that mean we need to become masterminds of deduction like Sherlock Holmes?
Not quite, but it's definitely about showing good judgment and a thoughtful approach to problem solving.
Okay, so it's not about having all the answers. It's about knowing how to find them and then making the right call.
Exactly. The video really emphasizes evidence-based decision-making. They're saying, don't just go with your gut, even though it's tempting.
So what's the key to making good decisions? Data spreadsheets. Give me the inside scoop.
You're on the right track. They use a great example from the world of marketing. Imagine you're a marketing coordinator, and you have to choose between 3 different strategies for a new product launch. The pressure is on, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Choose the wrong strategy and you're snuck with a warehouse full of useless stuff.
Yeah.
So what did they do? Did they just flip a coin?
Thankfully, no office supplies were harmed in the making of this decision.
So tell me they didn't just wing it.
Instead of relying on chance or gut instinct, this savvy marketer let the data guide them. They dug deep into past campaign data, analyzing success rates, cost effectiveness, and customer engagement levels for each strategy.
Wow. Talk about data-driven decision-making. That's impressive. But I'm guessing they didn't stop there.
They actually took it even further.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
After analyzing all that data, they presented their findings to the team.
Okay, sounds good so far.
But here's the really smart part. They didn't just say, hey, we should do this. They actually presented the pros and cons of each option.
Smart move. That way everyone understands the potential risks and rewards.
Exactly. And to top it off, they encouraged their colleagues to share their thoughts and feedback. They wanted to make sure everyone felt heard before making a final decision.
Okay, so they were data-driven and collaborative. I like it. So did their strategy pay off?
It totally did. The campaign ended up exceeding its target by 10%, and they got a great return on investment.
Wow, talk about a win-win. That's making effective decisions in action.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered adapting to change, working efficiently under pressure, communicating like a pro, seeing the bigger picture, and making smart decisions. What's next on our list of essential civil service superpowers?
Get ready for this one because it's all about the power of teamwork, working together.
Okay, working together. That one seems like a no-brainer, right? Who doesn't want a team player?
True, but the civil service takes this profile very seriously. They're not just looking for people who can play nice. They want to see that you can actually collaborate effectively with others to achieve shared goals.
So it's not enough to just say, oh yeah, I'm a team player. You actually have to prove it with real-life examples.
Exactly. And the video highlights this perfectly with an example of a project assistant who was part of an initiative to improve customer service.
Now that's something I care about. Tell me more.
So this initiative involved working with people from all different departments. Customer service, IT operations, you name it. A real team effort.
Okay, I can see how that could be challenging. Different departments, different priorities, different communication styles. How did this project assistant handle all that?
They were proactive from the very beginning. They really took the lead in facilitating meetings, encouraging open communication, creating a space where everyone felt comfortable sharing their ideas.
I love that. So often those meetings can just turn into unproductive complaint sessions, but this person created an environment where everyone felt heard.
Exactly. And when they hit a major roadblock, in this case, integrating a new customer service software system, their collaborative approach really saved the day.
Oh man, new systems can be a nightmare. How did they manage to pull it off?
Because they had built such a strong foundation of trust and open communication, they were able to identify potential risks early on.
Okay, so they were proactive.
They worked together to come up with a plan to address those risks using the expertise of everyone on the team.
So they basically turned a potential disaster into a win for teamwork.
Exactly. And the project stayed on track. The new system was implemented successfully, and get this, customer satisfaction actually improved by 15%.
Wow, 15%. That's amazing. It just goes to show you the power of teamwork and proactive communication. This project assistant sounds like the ultimate working together champion.
They really do.
Okay, what's next?
This one is all about personal and professional growth, developing self and others.
Ooh, developing self and others. I like the sound of that already. It reminds me of that quote, the best way to predict the future is to create it.
I love that. It perfectly captures the essence of this profile. It's all about recognizing that investing in growth is a win-win for both the individual and the organization.
Right. It's like they say, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Exactly. The video gives a great example of a team leader who was really committed to helping their team improve their customer service skills.
Okay, I've got to hear it. Tell me everything.
So this team leader recognized that everyone could benefit from some extra training in this area. So they arranged for the whole team to attend a customer service training program.
Okay, that's great. But I'm guessing there's more to the story.
Oh, there's always more. Here's the key detail. The team leader didn't just send their team to the training. They went through the training themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Leading by example. It
Yeah.
shows they're right there in the trenches with their team.
Exactly. And it didn't stop there. This leader also set up regular one-on-one sessions with each team member to give personalized feedback, discuss their progress, and help them set development goals. They were truly invested in their team's growth.
Okay, that's impressive. So they walk the walk and talk the talk. Did it pay off?
It totally did. The team's performance improved significantly, and customer satisfaction scores went up by 12% in just 3 months.
Okay, that's huge. It just goes to show that investing in your team's development isn't just a nice thing to do. It's a smart move all around.
Absolutely. And it speaks volumes about this leader's commitment to developing self and others. They created this culture of continuous learning and improvement, and it really paid off.
Okay, I'm adding attend the training with my team to my to-do list right now. What's next on our success profile adventure?
We're getting close to the end. Our next stop is managing a quality service.
Managing a quality service. That one feels particularly relevant to the civil service, where serving the public is so central to the mission.
Absolutely. This profile is all about consistently delivering high-quality services that meet the needs of your clients or stakeholders, even when things get a little crazy.
Okay, so it's about staying calm under pressure, being adaptable, and always putting the needs of the people you serve first.
You got it. And they illustrate this in the video with a pretty intense example. Imagine this. You're a service coordinator, and a key client requests some major changes to a project just days before the deadline.
Oh no, talk about a nightmare scenario. That's every project manager's worst fear.
Right, but instead of panicking, the service coordinator took a deep breath and jumped straight into problem-solving mode.
Okay, so what did they do?
They immediately got to work reallocating resources, reprioritizing tasks, and making sure everyone on the team was on board with the revised plan.
So they basically had to turn the whole project around on a dime. That's
Yeah.
impressive. That takes some serious organization and communication skills.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And throughout the whole process, they kept in close contact with the client, giving them regular updates and making sure their needs were being met every step of the way.
Transparency is key in those situations. No one likes to be left in the dark when things get messy.
Exactly.
Mm.
And you know what? Despite that last-minute curveball, they managed to pull it off. They delivered the revised project on time, and the client was happy.
Now that is managing a quality service. They really went above and beyond to deliver exceptional results even under pressure. Okay, we've covered 8 out of 9 success profiles. We're on the home stretch. Okay, we've made it to the final success profile, leadership. It's a big one.
It really is.
It kind of speaks for itself, but I have a feeling there's more to it than meets the eye.
You're right. On the money, leadership in the civil service goes way beyond just having a fancy title. It's about inspiring and motivating your team, guiding them towards a common goal, and of course, embodying those core civil service values.
Okay, so it's not about bossing people around. It's about empowering them.
Exactly. And the example they use in the video really drives that point home. Imagine you're a team leader. You've got 10 people. You're responsible for making sure they deliver top-notch service while juggling tight deadlines.
That's pretty standard, right?
Right. But here's the curveball. On top of their regular workload, they have to navigate a major organizational shift. New procedures, new systems, the whole 9 yards.
Oh boy, I can already sense the resistance to change brewing. How did this leader handle that?
That's where those leadership skills really shine. Instead of just dropping these changes on their team, they made communication a priority. They explained the reasons behind the shift so everyone understood the why, not just the what.
Makes sense. When people understand the reasoning behind a change, they're much more likely to get on board.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And this leader didn't just talk the talk, they walked the walk. They fostered this really supportive and inclusive environment where everyone felt comfortable speaking up, sharing their concerns, asking questions.
It makes a huge difference. No one wants to feel like their voice doesn't matter, especially during times of change.
Right. And this leader really listened. They took those concerns to heart and provided individual coaching and support whenever needed. Talk about going the extra mile.
Wow, that's dedication. So they communicated clearly, created a supportive environment, provided individual support. What was the end result?
Well, thanks to their leader's thoughtful and proactive approach, the team adapted to the new procedures like champs. They even managed to achieve their project goals ahead of schedule.
No way. So they didn't just survive the change, they totally rocked it.
They did, and here's the best part. The quality of service they provided never faltered. In fact, customer satisfaction ratings actually went up by 12% during this whole transition.
Seriously,
Oh,
that's incredible. This leader sounds like a rock star.
they really do. It just goes to show you that true leadership is about so much more than just being the one in charge. It's about empowering your team, creating a positive work environment, and inspiring everyone to do their best work, even when things get challenging.
I love that this whole deep dive has been amazing. We've covered all 9 civil service success profiles, from adapting to change and working effectively under pressure to making thoughtful decisions and leading with empathy and clarity.
It's like we've given our listeners a masterclass in acing those applications.
Absolutely. But remember, it's not just about memorizing these profiles. It's about understanding what they really mean and how they translate into real life skills and
We've
experiences.
got to connect the dots.
Exactly. So, for everyone listening out there, how can you take this newfound knowledge and apply it to your own unique experiences?
That's the fun part. It's time to put on your thinking caps and start brainstorming.
Yeah.
Think about your career journey and identify those experiences that really showcase these success profiles in action.
It's like being a detective in your own life. But what if you're thinking, hold on, I've never led a national project or managed a team of 10. How can I possibly measure up?
That's where those transferable skills come into play. Maybe you've never faced a crazy deadline at work, but maybe you organized a massive fundraising event for your kid's school with a tiny budget and even tighter deadline.
Perfect example. It's about looking at your experiences through a new lens, the lens of those success profiles.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to make things up. It's all about showcasing your authentic self and highlighting those experiences that resonate with the civil service's values.
Show, don't tell, right?
Always. So to all our listeners out there, it's time to grab your metaphorical detective hats and start piecing together your own unique civil service success story.
We know you can do it. And remember, we're always here to cheer you on every step of the way. Until next time, happy deep diving.